amazing ladies in business. It's Kylie King here, the founder of Australian Ladies in Business Initiative, and I am so excited to be joined to the HerStory podcast today by the amazing Aimee Kousis from Uplift Skin, who's a business based in Melbourne. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Good morning, Kylie. How are we?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm super. Apparently today's the last day of summer in Melbourne. So just getting ready.
Oh, wow. Do you prefer summer or are you more of like a winter baby? Like, how do you
I'm both.
do
When it's
both?
cold, I want to ski. When it's summer, I want to swim. So I'm happy either way.
Beautiful. Well, let's get started with the listeners. Introduce yourself and tell us a bit about, all about this amazing business, Uplift Skin.
Yeah. So I started the business 18 months ago. And it's really came out of necessity, default. I sort of got to a stage in my life. I'm 41 now, turning 42 very soon. And for the last 10 years, I'd contemplated about getting a breast surgery. I wanted to get a breast lift. I thought I'll save up for it. And I was sort of really trying to timeline it actually. So I was waiting for all the kids to get to an age where they were like past 15 years plus. That way I could sort of just do the recovery properly. I could just relax at home. I didn't have to focus on work as much because I just didn't really know what I was up for. I've heard great stories, horrible stories, and then in between stories where people have removed the silicone out. So I denied and I just very much procrastinated. It actually came to the time in my life where I was like, okay, everything's all sweet. Kids are all grown up. I can take the time out. I can travel overseas. I can do all that. And I had an aha moment. I was sitting out on the deck and I'm like, you know what? I don't actually want to do it. I've ruminated in my mind for the last 10 years that I was going to get breast surgery and then realized it's actually not for me. There's got to be alternatives out there. And then after breastfeeding 3 kids, my boobs are like very much, French crepes, or you can call them saggy crepes. You could actually roll my boobies up. And so I went, you know what, rather than going under the knife, let's look for an alternative. And that's how the journey started. I wanted to create my own alternative that was non-invasive, non-surgical, and to be honest, I just wanted it to be really affordable. And so that led me down the path of creating Uplift Skin as a brand and then having a community to back it with an amazing, affordable product that everybody can use and that everyone has access to.
That's beautiful. And I totally get it. Breastfeeding number 4 now. It's like my boobs look great now because I'm breastfeeding, but
Yeah.
afterwards you're like, oh my goodness. So
Your
no,
husband will be really happy now.
yes. Yes. And I love the fact that you saw something and went, you know what, I'm going to bring it out. So how's it been going? You said it's been going for 18 months. So how's that been going for you so far?
I had a mega successful year last year. We won multiple awards across like the pharmacy space. Obviously, becoming a finalist with you guys was super exciting. That really helped build out my confidence. And then the She.com Awards, we became finalists in 2 categories, and then we also became Best Female Accessory product in the pharmacy space as well. So just winning those awards really sort of championed my emotions, my feelings, and just it's one of those things when you build a business, it's fucking hard when you've got kids, you've got to put food on the table, you've got to cover the mortgage or whether it's rent, and then you've got to just keep your mind together. So I just sort of felt like last year there was a lot of grind work because I attended a lot of trade shows around Australia. I had no idea what I was doing. I'd never done a trade show. And I just went, just go in there, give it your best shot, build those relationships. And yeah, it was very much just go in there. That was my strategy. That was very much my business plan. Just get to these trade shows, set them up, and do what you do best. Just be really confident with yourself. And so that's sort of how it spiraled. And that's where we are today. So in terms of like how the 18 months have gone, the first 6 months, and I'm sorry, I'm probably going forwards and backwards, but the first 6 months was trial and error, Kylie. It was really difficult because I'd never done e-com before. I'd never built an e-commerce brand. I built other brands in the past, but that was in the event space because that was my bread and butter for 15 years. But coming into e-com, wow, it's been a completely, it's been so many learnings, so many curveballs, ups and downs and tribulations and so many highs and so many lows, a lot of money that's been lost. and then a lot of money, to regain. But I always look for opportunities. I'm always seeking great advice from, all sorts of people. And yeah, I think for me, the takeaway and that I'd love to share with everyone is you just got to back yourself, and you just can't give up. Like, there's so many times where I felt like I just want to give up because it just gets sometimes a bit too hard. And then, I've got this little quote right next to my bedroom, and it just says, just never give up. And I look at it every day. Every day I wake up, every day before I go to bed. And it's sort of, yeah, it's just my mantra now. And yeah, it's sort of tattooed in my brain every time I'm feeling a bit low.
That's a good one to have. And that's why so much to unpack here. Firstly, congratulations on the awards. That's incredible. And I think that a lot of businesses tend to shy away from awards. But the thing is it's so great to get that recognition. Even if it's a finalist place, it's a nomination place, or you take that trophy away, it's that recognition that yes, you are doing it, you're doing really well. And I think that business awards, if you can have an opportunity to enter them, you 100% should. And you won pharmacy ones, which is just incredible. So congratulations on that. It's so good to be recognized by people outside your business, because sometimes we're in our business so much. Like we can't see anything. It's just, oh, as you said, we've got to pay the mortgage, we've got to keep the kids alive, we've got to do all of this, that we're so focused on the business and making it happen that it's good to see someone from the outside sort of looking in and going, you know what? Aimee's doing a great job. She's doing fantastic. Let's recognize that. So I love that. And I also love the fact that you mentioned about the mantra near your bed, because sometimes we just need something small there to sort of kick us up the bum to keep going.
Well, yeah, it's that mantra, and plus my mum's a refugee, and so she came here in 1975. I've got a photo of her next to my bed. She's super, super successful. And when I look at her and I think you came here with nothing but the clothes on your back, and I'm complaining, like, get real, Aimee. Like, honestly, get your shit together, sister.
What an inspiring mum to have as well, then. Like, yeah, I guess there's no way you could be like when you have such an empowering force there that's guided you and inspired you that you've aspired to be, which is just absolutely incredible.
Oh, she's amazing. Like she's my heroine. She's just been my rock with everything. And I just, I'm so grateful that, God chose her to be my mum. And, she's just been an influence in my life in so many ways. And I tell you, like I said, she came here in 1975 with the clothes on her back, and she has just been an absolute Trojan. And she just loves life, and she's just killing it at her age. And yeah, I've to be honest, like, when I complain and I look over at my mum, I think, oh, this is ridiculous. Just get on with it, Aimee.
Mhm. We'll have to get her on the podcast, Aimee. She
I
sounds
should love to. Oh my God, she's a blast.
fun.
Wait till
Bring
you
her
meet my mum. She's incredible.
All right. So, what do you love about what you do? What is the one thing we know what motivates you? You've got that mantra, but what do you absolutely love about what you do that does keep you going? Because you need to have some passion behind it.
I love the fact that I can give women the opportunity to feel great about themselves, and that's what Uplift Skin does. So I get so much feedback about like how easy the product is to use, how comfortable it is, and that at the end of the night, once they've finished removing the tape, their boobs go back to normal, and they're not stuck with plastic surgery or having to have this like look and feel that some women they think they want to have a breast lift, but they go through different moments in their life where they don't really want it. And so I've had women all over Australia contact me saying that was amazing for that event. It really, really helped. I came home, I took it off in the shower, it was super easy to take off, and you know what, the next event I'm going to wear it again. So it's what I realized with breast lifting tape or boob shaping tape, it's an essential. Just have it in your bag, have it in your car. It's kind of like having lipstick or mascara. You need it. You can have that lift whenever you want. Do you know what I mean? You don't have to go see a doctor. You don't have to go see a girlfriend. It's a real personal thing. You put it under your clothing. You've got that little perky lift, and women just feel great about themselves when they look in the mirror.
Beautiful. So just to go in more, because so it lifts the breast. So it's a tape that lifts the breast, and then you can easily take it off.
Super
And
easy.
you wear it under a bra, without a bra. Like, how does it work? Let's go really
No,
like,
the whole idea is so you go completely braless. So,
wow,
no bra at all. The whole idea is that you never need to deal with, the bra clips or the falling bra straps or the uncomfortable hard wire. You can scrap that now and simply put the boob tape on, and you can actually get a lift in under 60 seconds. I can do it under 20 seconds because I'm a pro.
Yes.
I've done that many demos, but like a lot of my customers online, they literally can do it in under 60 seconds. It's so easy to use. It's a matter of cutting it, peeling the sticker, and then lifting up your boob, and then just applying the tape for whatever direction you want your boobs to sit. So there's multiple ways of using the tape. You can go across, you can go up. I have a lot of women actually that have got a lot of that are big breasted, like myself. I'm a 14 double D, and they use it to tape their boobs down. So it does the opposite of, rather than getting the lift, it's to actually get into the outfit as opposed to getting that, that look with a lot of cleavage.
Wow. So pretty much get the tape and chuck out all your bras and never have to do those horrible things in the change room where you got to try and fit them in and feeling the bulge or the, what is it, like the marks from the underwire. Chuck all
Yep.
the bras out and just use the tape.
That's it, girlfriend. You said it. Just get rid of it.
There we go. We'll just soundbite that too later so that we can put that on the reel.
You
Chuck
can,
out the bras.
the whole idea is to burn your bra, burn your bra.
Yes. Yes, that's very, was it like back in the 60s?
Yeah.
Burn your bra. I love this. Burn your bra and replace it with tape. That's fantastic. So, what has been your biggest challenge as a business owner so far?
Myself. It's me. Like I get in the way a lot of the time. I reckon this business, we could have scaled even further and faster if I just got out of the way. I am my biggest issue. I'm a perfectionist. I want things to look and feel a certain way. I take time. I'm pedantic about certain things. And I've learned a lot about myself, to be honest, in the last 18 months about who I am and what I bring to the table. When I first started this business, I wanted everything in place before I took that leap of faith, and that is the opposite of what you're supposed to do. It's just get in there, fail at whatever you're doing, and you might not fail, or you might be really successful at it, but then get those learnings and go, okay, how can I do it better?
Mm. So, how have you been sort of trying to overcome that challenge? Because I understand us getting in our own way is a big challenge for many business owners. How are you sort of trying to overcome that?
Some of the things that I find that work for me that are super powerful is the people around you. You've got to get around the right circles. You've got to get around the people that are, that have got skin in the game, that are similar to yourself, that are sharing the same struggles. Because once you work out that you're not alone, it's like, oh, okay, I now can ring up, so and so, he's got an e-com store, or so and so, she's got an e-com store and she's also in retail, and she's got these problems, and she will know somebody that can help you. It's really much the network is what I've found, which I thought prior to that, jump on YouTube shows, get on this course, which is all great. And, they're the things that you should be doing. So you're always upskilling. But for me, it's the network. It's getting around people that are doing similar things to yourself, that are sharing the same struggles. And sometimes, actually not sometimes, all the time, e-com's really lonely. This is a really lonely space. So you're dealing with your own mind, you're having your own conversations, you're writing notes, post notes, jumping on Zooms. And what I found is like when I can ring up other people in this space, I feel like I'm sharing. I feel like I'm actually, I'm in an office space, but I'm not. I've got the freedom of being at home with the kitties and the dogs. And so they're the perks of ecom. But the flip side of ecom, yeah, it's lonely. So just get around other people, that feel your pain, that can, uplift you as well. Oh, I excuse the pun.
No, but it makes sense. Like it's all about your network and reaching out and realizing you aren't alone. And then you get really great ideas from people. And you know what? That's pretty much how this community was started, how ALIBI was started, because I was at home starting a business with a newborn baby and I was lonely. And I was like, wow, running a business is very much like those. Well, I thought it was like those newborn years, where you're up at weird hours, no one else, the world is asleep. And you're like, where do I find the answers? So, you look at internet forums or you look at books. So having that community where you can reach out and phone someone and go, hey, instead of saying, oh, my newborn's had a blowout or what's teething like, you're like, oh, my business is having an issue or I've got this client. So I think it's really important with your community. So I love that. What would
And
you, yeah.
those people in your community, like they're your people. And I've had so many instances, like, for example, I pitched to Priceline head office at West Farmers, and it was a massive deal because I knew, like, if I got this contract over the line, that was the next big deal. Like, that was going to be the thing that really, scale the business. And so I went through the motions of going through those meetings with the West Farmers group. And then I got an opportunity to present what they call ranging, which was like, they said, you've got 5 months to prepare. And within that 5 months, I was like getting all my things together, all my rubber duckies in line, ready for that big ranging opportunity. And in the middle of it, another ecom brand rang me and said, "You're not going to believe, guess what West Farmers and Priceline are doing now." And I was like, wow. But what that taught me was that, other people are looking out for me. They gave me the game, they gave me the knowledge. So then I was actually really prepared for that big meeting. And I didn't get the offer, I didn't get that contract, and it doesn't matter. But what it taught me was, oh, other people are really looking out for me and my brand.
Beautiful. That's awesome. I hope West Farmers weren't doing anything dodgy, but
Oh,
that's
no,
awesome
no.
that they had your
It's
back,
business.
you know.
That's business. Like, all of ideas people will replicate. And that's what it is. And so you got to be like innovative. You got to put more products in your pipeline, more energy, more money, more time.
Mm. Mm. So what would you say now, if we flip it, so we talked about your biggest challenge, what would you say has been your biggest achievement?
I actually had this conversation with myself yesterday on the freeway. I'm driving home and I was like, shit, I've had a really crappy day. And I thought, actually, you know what? Flip it in your head, Aimee. What can we celebrate today? And that was like, I reflect on last year, and it was a mammoth of a year, girlfriend. It was huge. And so my biggest achievement is really kind of getting into the pharmacy lane. I have to admit, like, the retail stores were great. I got knocked back by Myers, got knocked back by David Jones, and I was really gutted when I didn't get those deals over the line. But getting into Terry White and Amcal and some of those franchises all around Australia, it was a big deal for me because I'd visualized it. I dreamed about it. I'd walk through these pharmacy stores and visualize my product on those shelves. I visualized my retail POS on the front counters. And it was a matter of just visualizing, and then it happened. Like, I had to take the flights, I had to make those phone calls, I had to turn up to these trade shows, and I was up against major brands, like big brands with a lot of capital, a lot of big capital dollars. And I was just, the new girl I was a new kid on the block. I had no idea what I was doing at these trade shows, but it all pulled off and everything sort of just worked out seamlessly. So getting into pharmacy was a massive win for me.
I'd love to know how you dealt with the rejection. So you mentioned that there was a couple there, like you did great things and we love the people that accepted the product, but how did you deal with that rejection to keep going? Because I know some small business owners, as soon as they get that one sense of rejection, it's like they feel like they're back at high school and they just can't keep moving forward. So how did you deal with it to keep going and chasing these big contracts?
I love that question. It's not easy. I'm not going to lie to you. It plays with your confidence. It, like, sort of like you get belted at the knees. You sort of almost just need a moment or two to get your scruples together and like go, okay, that's cool. All right, well, that didn't work. And I've got this thing in my mind about no means not yet. No doesn't mean no now. It just means like, okay, the conversation didn't resonate with you. The product doesn't work for you right now, but I'm going to put you on the back burner. I'm coming for you and we got to get this. I'll get it over the line. It's just timing. It's just timing because I know the product works. I know the product's market fit. I know the price points of the product. And it's just, it's just no means not yet.
That's a great way to look at it. And when you applied for these people, did you know someone who was in the brand, or you just like sent an email, you reached out to them cold? Like, what started that conversation to go, I'm going to chase these big brands down?
Well, it sort of started like this. So the e-com space is you spend X amount of money trying to chase one customer.
Mhm.
Where I was like, okay, hold on a second. X input versus Y input. Why don't I put the same energy in getting these retail stores and getting these bigger orders and bigger volumes? So I thought, all right, well, while I've got ecom working in the background, because I started off in just doing the ecom, looking for customers on Meta and Instagram and TikTok, I thought, hold on a second, let's go where all the other retail outlets go. Let's go attend these trade shows. And for me as a brand, and I think all brands in the beauty space, whatever sector you're in, trade shows are a really big deal. They can really help your brand pivot in the B2B space. And that brings dollars into the account. It helps you with your confidence. It helps you with the scalability of your business. Because numbers paint a picture, yeah? You've got to really value your time, and you can put all this effort into your e-com business, and you're not really feeling the fruits of all your labor. But when you're getting actually really good orders coming through, you start to feel the pulse of the business.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
So cool. So any opportunity, if you see a trade show and you think it's right for your business, give it a go, because you don't know what will eventuate from it.
And you just don't know who you're going to meet. Do you know, look, I know a lot of brands that have done trade shows and they haven't been successful, but they've met one owner or one director, and he happens to be the director of, 400 stores, and they got into a huge liquor, they got into a huge, they got a massive liquor contract. And it's really about bumping in or finding that right one person. And you just never know how you can pivot from that.
Beautiful. So is there any advice you wish you were given before you kicked off this brand 18 months ago?
Yeah. Put your ego in the closet, right? So right from the beginning, I was told get a mentor. And I'm like, nah, I don't need a mentor. I read this books, I watch this, I'm going to be fine. I've made it through life and I've done really well to get to this point. I'm going to be cool. I'm just going to get on that horse and I'm just going to just trailblaze through. That is the lotus BS of crap. You need mentorship. You need people around you, and you need like a soundboard to sort of like just share your pains, share your wins, share your successes. Mentorship is everything. Like I have a mentor and she has just been incredible. Like I just, yeah, I'm so grateful and I'm so blessed that I found an incredible mentor to really just guide me. She's been my North Star.
Beautiful. And do you have any advice that you would give someone that's starting out in business, other than the ego in the closet? Is there something that you've learned that you would give as advice for someone?
Oh God, I love giving advice all the time. I just feel like I'm going to take it on board myself. Yeah, there's so much, it depends on what stage you're at in your business. But for a newbie going into entrepreneurship, I suppose the biggest takeaway for me is we have really clear vision, and whether it's draw it out or write about it or share it with your partner or your loved one, but have a really clear vision. When you become wishy-washy, it makes you indecisive. When you become indecisive, you just don't want to back yourself because you're not sure. So have the vision, architect it in your mind, and just stay on that path.
I
Hi, baby.
I can hear him like getting himself worked up. So I was like, I'll
Oh,
just grab
he's
him.
gorgeous. What's
But
his name?
his name's Eddie. So he's 6 weeks.
Hi, beautiful Eddie. Oh, you are amazing, Kylie.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I can just hear him. You know how they start to rev? And I'm like, you're getting a bit loud there. Anyway, I'll settle him and we'll keep going.
Okay, you do your thing, girl.
Questions. Hey, you want to put this in? You just wanted to be on the camera like your sisters. Yeah.
Of course, of course.
So, what's your ultimate goal for your business? Like, what's the ultimate plan if you're willing to share it?
Yeah, I'd love to share it. I want everyone to hear my vision. I want Uplift Skin in stores like Macy's, Sephora, Sally Beauty, Costco. Hopefully in October this year, I'm going to head to the States for a trade show, and I'm going to suck it and see, girlfriend. Like the whole idea is just get out there and just try to make as many connections as I possibly can, and yeah, try and get into some of those really big stores.
Beautiful. That's so exciting, going all the way to America now. Good on you.
Yeah, so the trade show in Las Vegas, I was going to go last year, but I just wasn't ready. I just wanted to focus domestically in Australia and see what it would be like, get the traction, get the retention, and just honestly, I just had to build my confidence. It was really like wet my toes in the Australian market. Now I've got a blueprint and I know what I'm doing. I can now duplicate that process overseas.
Beautiful. That's so exciting. Let us know how you go. Like, make sure you tell us in the group how it went and
Yeah,
I'd
for sure.
yeah. Okay, so since this is your expertise, this is your ecom business, what's a tip you'd share with the listeners, whether it's ecom related or something to do with your product? Like, I don't know, the best way to tape your boobs up or which best way to burn some bras? What's your
Yep.
best tip that you'd give for the listeners?
The biggest tip I'd give for the listeners would be fear is just an emotion, and I talk a lot about emotionality throughout everything. And I think fear is the biggest setback. It really is. And you just got to push it aside, tell it to piss off, because if you've got a vision, just go for it. Just go for it. And I think, we all get stopped and in our tracks because, just our thoughts, our minds have a real way of playing tricks on us. And so if we can just shut that little monkey down and just go for it, you'll be so surprised what's around the corner.
And then you're not also just wondering, like, just think 18 months ago, if you didn't take this and run this brand, where would you have been? Like, your life would have been completely different.
Oh, exactly. And let me just share with you for all your audience. In the last 18 months, I also got divorced. So, I came out of a 21-year marriage, and that was huge. That like really that belted me at the knees. I was smashed in the face, and I had all these tribulations, but I kept waking up every morning going, okay, cool, maybe this is what's supposed to happen. I'm supposed to like go through all these challenges to really test my ability and to test my skill set. Yeah, so raising three kids, and they're all incredible and they're all amazing. And like I said to you in the beginning, I'm at the tail end of parenting. So everything's sort of just working out the way it's supposed to work out. And sometimes we have a plan and it doesn't work out. It's okay. It's not that bad. Just come up with a different plan.
Yeah, just pivot or yeah, come up with a new plan or something and keep moving forward.
Exactly.
So, how do we stalk you? Where do we find you? Where can we buy the booby tape? How can we see you online?
Okay, so you can find us on the usual suspects: TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. We're very active on Instagram, so it's Uplift Skin AUS, so Uplift Skin Oz, so for Australia, and then TikTok is exactly the same. So come online, you'll get to see all of our tutorials. You'll get to see the brand, you'll get to see how to use the tape. And if you have any questions, just find us on Instagram or TikTok.
Beautiful. And where can we buy the product? So,
You can buy us on our website, www.upliftskin.com.au. And then you can also find us in various stores throughout Australia through Priceline, Terry White, Amcal. Yeah, there's a lot of stores that stock it. And so, yeah, you can just walk into the store or just order online.
beautiful. I have a price line like just outside my office here. So, I'm going to go and check if you're in there
Yeah, perfect.
and then go check and get myself some. So, thank you. I don't know how we'll go with breastfeeding, but after that, I'm ready to go.
Well, let me just step it up a bit, Kylie. How about I send you a bundle pack? I'm going to send you some nipple covers just to protect your nipples and your areolas. I'll send you some tape. And you know what? You might use it to tape the kid's mouth up.
Oh, that's a very good idea. Thank you so much. Well, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for sharing your story, all about your brand. I'm so excited to see where it goes, and I hope you have major success at your trade show in America. Thank you so
Oh,
much.
fantastic.